All right, everyone, welcome back. You guys flooded my inbox requesting this one, so I'm excited to finally dig in.
Definitely an important one for sure.
We're doing a deep dive on women's health, specifically hormonal imbalances.
Awesome.
So many of you wanted to really understand this topic without getting, too lost in the weeds.
Yeah.
We're going to try to figure out what's really important for you to know
Love it.
based on the research that you sent over.
Looking forward to it.
So, have you ever felt just totally off?
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe super moody or just completely wiped out?
For sure.
Or maybe just like things are changing with your body and you don't know why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, chances are you might be dealing with hormonal imbalances.
Yeah, it's so common.
Right.
And, hormones are basically these tiny chemical messengers that control so many functions in our bodies.
Okay, so like what kinds of things are we talking about?
I mean, everything from your sleep to your energy levels, your mood, even your metabolism and reproductive system.
Wow. Okay, so these little guys are kind of a big deal, huh?
They really are. Think of it like an orchestra. Each hormone is an instrument playing a very specific part.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and when one instrument is out of tune, the whole melody gets thrown off.
Makes sense. So what are some of the key players in this hormonal orchestra?
Well, you've got estrogen, often called the female hormone.
Right.
But it does way more than just periods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it impacts bone health, heart health, and even brain function.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, and then there's progesterone, which preps your body for pregnancy and affects your mood.
Okay.
Then you've got your thyroid hormones controlling your metabolism. And, of course, we can't forget cortisol, our stress hormone.
Oh, yeah. Stress is a big one these days.
It is, for sure.
So if these hormones are so important, what happens when they get out of whack?
That's when you start seeing those not-so-fun symptoms.
Like what kinds of things are we talking about?
It can be a whole range of things.
Okay.
Some women have irregular periods, maybe really heavy bleeding or bad PMS.
Right.
Others might struggle with weight gain or trouble sleeping.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely been there.
Yeah. And even things like hair loss or skin changes can be linked to hormones.
It's kind of scary how many things can be tied back to hormones.
It is a bit overwhelming, yeah.
Where do you even begin to address something that could have so many different causes?
You're right. There are a lot of potential culprits.
Okay.
Our hormones naturally change throughout our lives, like during puberty, pregnancy, and menopause.
Makes sense.
But things like stress, diet, exercise, even environmental toxins can mess with our hormones too.
So it's not just our biology, it's also our lifestyle choices.
Exactly.
That's kind of empowering in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
But it also makes things a bit more complicated.
Yeah, for sure. If it could be so many different things, how do you even know where to start?
Well, that's why figuring out the root cause is key.
Okay.
That's also why talking to a doctor is so important.
Right.
They can help you figure out which hormones are off and why.
So what kind of tests would a doctor do?
They might do blood tests to check your hormone levels, and they might suggest lifestyle changes too.
So being proactive is important.
Definitely pay attention to your body. Don't just ignore things thinking they're normal.
Good advice.
The research you sent mentions a lot of different treatments.
Yeah, talks about lifestyle changes, stress management, and medical interventions.
Right. And it seems like finding the right approach is very personalized.
Absolutely.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Some women feel better with simple changes like exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, and managing stress.
Okay, that makes sense.
But others might need hormone replacement therapy or other medical treatments. It really just depends on the individual and what's causing the imbalance.
So talking to a doctor seems like a pretty good first step.
It really is the earlier the better.
Okay, but with all the different types of doctors, who should you see for hormonal issues?
That's a good question. It depends on your specific concerns. Your primary care doctor is a great place to start.
Okay.
And they can refer you to a specialist, like a gynecologist or an endocrinologist, if needed.
So if you're experiencing any of those symptoms we talked about, it's probably worth making an appointment.
Absolutely.
Hormonal imbalances can be managed effectively with the right help.
For sure, you can really regain control of your health and well-being.
Such a powerful message.
It is.
Knowledge really is power. Understanding our hormones is like the first step to taking charge.
It really is.
So much good stuff to think about. Thank you so much for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure. So now I'm curious, knowing what you know now, how might this change how you approach your own health journey?
That's a great question. I think for me, it's definitely going to be about being more mindful of my stress levels.
Yeah.
And making sure I'm getting enough sleep.
For sure.
And if I ever feel like something's off, I won't hesitate to talk to my doctor.
That's great to hear.
Thanks again for guiding us through this deep dive. It's been super insightful.
Happy to help.